Having worked through the income and substitution effects of a change in either income or the real wage, we can now write the leisure choice as a function of the real wage and after-tax profits. Now, if we use the time constraint, then we got the labor supply function, which depends on the real wage and the after-tax profits. Now, if the substitution effect dominates the income effect, then what we know is that anytime the real wage goes up, consumers are going to choose less leisure, and therefore the supply of labor is going to rise. And that is what we see here, that the quantity of labor supplied increases with the real wage. Similarly, higher income is going to result in people wanting to consume more leisure, and therefore they supply less labor. So what we can do now is we can go back to our figure 3, which was the pure income effect. There we go. And in this figure, what we want to say is this is the original level of income, say PR minus T, call it 0. And then we have a new level of income, PR minus T1. So we're raising income, so this object is bigger than this one. And what we argued was that if income goes up, then the household is going to choose a point that lies to the northeast of the original consumption bundle, E, and that's going to imply that higher income results in higher leisure and therefore in a lower quantity of labor supplied. We can go to the aggregate labor supply function, where what we have here is total, this is now economy-wide hours of labor supplied, and this is the real wage. We raise income from PR minus T1 to PR minus T2, and what we see is that for any given wage, so look at this dotted line, workers now want to supply less labor. So when income was PR minus T1, the quantity of labor supplied was NS1. Under the higher level of income, the quantity of labor supplied is NS2. And we can repeat this kind of exercise now, asking what happens if we have a higher real wage. And to see that, we go back to this graph. With a higher real wage, if the income effect is weaker than the substitution effect, so again, we have substitution effect dominates income effect, then what we know is the pure substitution effect takes you from E to E triple prime, and then you're going to end up moving out here to a point like E3. And if you notice, what that implies is that when the real wage goes up, the ultimate effect on leisure is that it goes down. And that then means that the labor supply is higher. So in this graph, we have two different wages, W1 and a W2, and associated with those two different wages are two different levels of leisure. We have, say, leisure L1, leisure L2. So L3, sorry. Since L3 is less than L1, that means that labor supply 3 is going to be greater than labor supply 1 when we have that the wage has gone up. So now we can just plot these 2 points in this aggregate labor supply space, where again we have total hours worked or hours supplied and the real wage. And here the wage goes from W1 to W2. My notation is a little inconsistent. This you should think of as NS 3. And what this shows you is these are the 2 points. At W1, labor supply is NS1. At W2, labor supply is NS3. You connect the dots, and you get this upward sloping labor supply function. That completes our derivation of labor supply. And what we'll turn to now is to talk about the demand for labor. The demand for labor, as you recall from the very beginning, is going to come from firms.